So you work your arse off in the gym. In fact, you've doubled your laundry because of the sweat you've been putting into it. You may even feel fitter, but the scale? Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Why does this happen? And what can you actually do about it? Hey, I'm Danny, owner and head coach at OPEX Bristol. And in this video, I'm going to walk through 5 of the most common reasons that this happens. Some of them are behavioral, some of them are biological, and number 5 explains why you might even have gained weight from exercising. But first, we need to understand the simple model that most people have in their head when they start exercising. Most people think weight loss works like this. You burn calories through exercise. That increases the amount of energy you're using. So if you keep eating the same amount of food, the weight should go down. And in theory, that's right. Weight change is fundamentally about energy balance, the relationship between the energy you eat and the energy that you burn. But what many people don't realize is that when you change one part of that equation, other parts often change too. Your body and behavior adapt, and those adaptations are often why the scale doesn't move. The first issue is simply that exercise doesn't burn as many calories as people expect. For example, a fairly solid 30-minute run might burn somewhere around 250 calories. But 250 calories is roughly the same as something like a chocolate bar, which means calories are often much easier to eat than they are to burn. This doesn't mean that exercise is pointless. It just means that relying on exercise alone to create a large calorie deficit can be pretty difficult. The second reason is that exercise tends to increase hunger. When you burn more energy, your body sometimes responds by increasing signals that encourage you to eat more. Not because it's trying to sabotage you, but because it's designed to try and maintain energy balance for survival. For some people, this increase in appetite is small, but for others, it can be enough to cancel out most or all of the calories burned during the workout. So you might burn 300 calories during exercise, but then you unconsciously eat 300 extra calories later in the day. And the result is that that deficit disappears. Now, the third reason is behavioral. When people start exercising, they often feel like they've earned extra food. You might recognize thoughts like, I worked out today, so I deserve this. Or I burned loads of calories earlier in the day. The problem is that we tend to overestimate calories burned during exercise and underestimate calories in food. So what feels like a small reward can easily be larger than the workout itself. The fourth reason is something called energy compensation. When you do a tough workout, you might subconsciously move less for the rest of the day. You might sit more, fidget less, take fewer steps, and these small reductions in movement can add up surprisingly quick. So if a workout burns 300 calories, but your overall daily movement drops by 200 or 250 calories, the net impact on your daily energy expenditure becomes much smaller. And the fifth reason is that the scale doesn't only reflect body fat. When people start exercising, especially if it's new or more intense than what they were doing before, the body often holds on to extra water. This can happen because of things like inflammation from training, increased glycogen storage in the muscles, and sometimes even small amounts of muscle gain. And all of these can increase body weight slightly, which means fat loss might actually be happening, but the scale temporarily doesn't show it. Now look, none of this means that exercise is bad for fat loss. Exercise absolutely can contribute to a calorie deficit, but the key thing to understand is that exercise is usually one part of that equation. For most people, the most reliable fat loss strategies tend to combine managing food intake, maintaining a decent level of daily movement, and using exercise for the many benefits it provides beyond just the calorie burn. Exercise is incredibly valuable. It improves cardiovascular health, strength and muscle mass, mental health, insulin sensitivity, energy levels, and perhaps most importantly, the research has shown it helps people maintain weight loss long term. But when it comes to losing weight, exercise tends to work best alongside good nutrition and daily activity, not as a replacement for them. So if you've been exercising but the scale hasn't moved, it doesn't mean your effort is pointless, and it doesn't mean that you're broken. It just means that your body and behavior may be adapting in ways that cancel out the calorie burn. And once you understand those adaptations, you can start making small adjustments that bring the equation back into your favor. If you'd like personalized help with this, click the link below. We work one-on-one with clients here in Bristol, but we also coach clients remotely all over the world. And that's it from me. I hope this was helpful. And if you enjoyed this video, our YouTube overlords think you'll love this next one. See you in the next one.